Thursday, we're a couple of days away from the Betway Summer Cup now. Are you ready for the big weekend? We look forward to seeing you at the races. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Thursday race meeting at the Vaal Classic Track, and we're going to go through the 8-race program for you. Got Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows again. I know Darren Burrows was in good form yesterday with that Scalini bluff on bluff double. Hope you got some of that. Not easy when the exotics don't land, but race by race, when you find a 5, 6, 7 to 1 shot and then a 20 to 1 shot, it does help us recover, and get back into stride. At Weighted to Win, or our WhatsApp number, is always available for you to engage. Right, let's get into the market, guys. It is Wednesday evening, so that you know exactly how this all works. And I can tell you in terms of the betting, Darren, let me start with you. I'm pulling it up on our screen now, where Princess Hilaria is 17 to 10. You think it's ready? It's her turn?
I think she's the right horse, Clyde. She ran over the weekend, and she actually ran a very good fourth. I thought that form line's going to hold up nicely in the future. Dangers would come from Warbonnet Creek. I don't think he quite saw out the 14. He'll be a better horse over 1200. And then Smelting, professional maiden, but should run another honest race.
We'll need the run, says Paul Matchett about Captain TikTok. It's a work riders. Good to see Vicky Larina back in the saddle.
Yes, great to see her. I wish her well. I hope she has a good ride over here, Clyde. She is getting 5 kilograms from, I believe, the biggest danger, number 1, Warbonnet Creek. Mm-hmm. I love the way Tom Nkume is riding currently, Clyde.
Good.
Very patient in the irons from a 1 draw. He ought to have the run of the race, and I think he is the horse to beat. I agree with Darren. He just didn't see out the 1450 last time out. The drop is certainly going to be in his favour. Horses to improve. Have a look at number 8, Tiz Magic. The dam sprinted. She's coming back in trip with a set of blinkers on. And Joe Guanguiza in the irons from a good draw. I think if you're playing trifectas and quartets, throw her in.
Okay. And what do you make of Princess Hilaria?
Yeah, she's had her chances and she never disgraces herself. She's going to run another honest race.
Okay.
Preference to Warbonnet Creek.
All right. We've got that. Can we put the slides up? Nao's our director today. He'll help us through the process. And he's got Daryl Marie's bipot, which is bank of the 1 in the first leg of the pot. So that's the plan from Daryl's side. That's Warbonnet. Ahead of the whole field. Is that right?
That's correct. Field.
Is everything okay? Everything all right? By banker 6, yep.
We've been taking a beating this week.
Right.
Left, right and centre. Let's double up in that leg.
What price you want to lay me? We double up in the second leg. Third leg, we're bankering 6, then 4 and 8, then 2, 3, 8 and 10. And banker the 6 at the back. Race number 2, this is how they bet on Wednesday night. Number 1, Crimson Princess, 28 to 10. 2 Eternal Life, 33 to 10. 7 to 2, the 3 Ballroom Bliss. 7 to 2, number 5 Belvard. 5 to 1, the 6 Dark Travel. And 20 to 1 about Opera Glass. We know we've got fields in our bipods, etc. So it's that tough a race, right, Darren?
Tough race. All 6 runners can win. You know, Crimson Princess and Ballroom Bliss ran a couple of days ago. They were both a bit disappointing. Eternal Life, her comeback run was good, but it's her second run after a rest and an 8-point penalty. Belvard, also second run back, can improve. Dark Travel's not out of it. And then Opera Glass, the only other runner.
All right, so open. Tough race. I know you field in bipod PAs. What's the plan?
Field.
Also.
We'll travel up, Claude. There are form updates over here. Mm-hmm. Crimson Princess ran 5th, beaten 3 3/4 of a length by Bureau de la Jean.
Yep.
Ballroom Bliss ran 6, beaten 8 lengths by marching on together. Strictly on form, go back to the run behind Rouge Allure. Opera Glass is 8.5 kilograms. Better off with Crimson Princess for a length and a quarter beating.
Sure. On the 120 to 1.
She's the biggest roughie in the field. I think she's not without a chance of here.
Okay. So maybe there's a bit of value at 20 to 1 about Opera Glass field. Small field, big upset, so they say. Here's a look at what we're going to do, race 2. No point carrying on about it if we're not exactly sure. So the whole field from Daryl by banker 6, by 4 and 8, by 2, 3, 8, 10. By banker 6, by 6, 8, 9, by 2 and 7. As far as the second race goes, take your pick. Okay, let's get our pick sixes on now, guys. On to the third. It's a maiden class field. As far as the betting is concerned on Wednesday night, Cape Lights for Robbie Sage and Muzieni, a combination that's in form, is 5-2. Number 6, Pomazelis, Manga riding for Joe Simon, Manga Kamala, 3-1. 5, Lady Regent is 5-1, and 8-1 about number 8, Coffee in Seattle, 12s and better about the others. All right, Darren's a maiden class field, so you can help us here. What do you think will win?
I thought between numbers 4, 5, 6, and 13, the market leaders. Cape Lights, now I think she's going to improve up in trip, and she is now overdue. She could get it right. Lady Regent might enjoy this trip, and she did achieve a 87 in the past. She's now down to a 79. I've actually heard whispers about Lady Regent that she's flying at home. I don't know how true it was because I didn't really know the person, but they said watch out for this filly. Pomazelis, not a bad last effort. I know she was expected to win. And then on Pity Pat's not out of it either.
Yeah, on the intoxicating form, I guess you look at Cape Lights and you look at a horse like Pomazelis. Cape Lights, it's got its measure. But there's some interesting form in there, Daryl, I want to just talk to you about, because Joey Summer might have an answer in terms of a couple of runners here. Like, for example, with Cape Lights, ran behind that horse that he actually trains. What's it called? Kishuazuru, something like that. Give him an idea. And from there came Treaty that won. And Pomazelis was a winning form line from the Pomazelis line that I see here as well that came out and won. A horse called Coffee Berry, who knocked a few of us out. But that form's been holding up with the Patchy Fighter having come and run second. I like Pomazelis. What's your first choice?
I like her strongly.
Do you?
Clyde, many are going to say on the intoxicating run, she doesn't have a chance against... what is it? Cape Lights?
Yeah.
That was on the inside track, right?
Right.
Now there's a longer running.
Yes.
I think that will favour Pomazelis. Pomazelis has got a better draw. Pomazelis was having her second run. She stayed on the inside track. I thought last time, it's such unlucky. We saw the winner who beat her last time out, Clyde, come out and run second in her post-maiden effort.
Right.
I've got my doubts over Cape Lights going over the extra ground. Her dam was a sprinter, an out-and-out sprinter. So because of the extra distance, because of the longer running, I'm favouring Pomazelis.
Okay. Well, then on that basis, Pomazelis is the one to beat. If it's the longest straight and the ground will suit, I would imagine that you're all on side with Pomazelis. Yeah, let's have a look. Pick sixes. Darren's got a pick six workout. He's bankering right at the back. He says that's the banker. You guys can take those numbers down. But he is depending in his pick six on the very last leg on a horse called Admiralty Arch that Piers Stradham is riding for the Puertas Fosloo stable. Come race number 8 on the card. Middle stakes, tougher race now. This is the first leg of the jackpot. Willer's Wish number 7, 4-1 favourite with 8 Clarkson at 4-1, 1 Naval Guard 4-1, 7-1 about the 6 Bays away, 8-1 and better about the others. Not an easy race. First choice, Darren?
First choice, Clarkson. He's a really nice horse. He's coming on the right way. He would prefer 18-2000, but he's very capable over this sort of trip. If there's a decent speed on, he's going to be running at them very strongly. And with a handy galloping weight to draw, I make him a hard horse to beat. Dangers, Naval Guard returning after a bit of a break. He's got the 60 kilos to shoulder. Sudden Star, Imperial Master, and Willer's Wish have chances.
Yeah. Ask the question about Clausen does he want a bit further or is the mile okay?
He does. He probably 1800 is his best trip, Clyde. So he contested, a 1500 last time? The mile's slightly more favourable, but Darren touched on he's in great form and he's a very decent horse.
Yeah.
He's going to be my second pick behind Imperial Master. Now, his ratings come down slightly. This one's for the rating fans out there. Down to an 89. But the 4 kgs come off his back. And I think this apprentice is worth his weight in gold currently with the 4 kgs. So I just hope he's able to hold his position from a one draw. He's going to strip slightly fitter. And I think if you go back in his form line, he's 4 kilograms better off for a length beating with, who is it, Sudden Storm.
Yeah.
So I think he does represent some value, Clyde. I'm not saying he's worth a big bet, but I'd say have a small each way nibble on number 4, Imperial Master.
Well, so Southern Star's 8-1 and Imperial Master, they're both 8-1, the two of them. It's quite interesting, the race, having a look at it. I mean, you look at the form line of that horse, and you look at the another level as to who was in there. Vanderbilt was in there, as you know, Southern Star, Castletown. So there are one or two decent names in there, Bard of Avon, etc. So got to have a chance. But it's not an easy race.
Stewie's doing well.
And Stewart's back in form, which is good to see. Not that he was ever out of form, but it's good to see him back in winners enclosure. Let's go and have a look at what we're going to do. From a jackpot, we've got the weighted to win combined, 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, by 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 4 and 6, we're covering there, by 1, 2, 5, 6, 8 and 9. Thank you for joining us again. Welcome back. Here's race number 5, middle stakes over 1,200 metres. From a world sports betting perspective, in terms of the market that I've got in front of me, Chivana 7-2, 10 Flower Bomb 7-2. Morcantor is at a decent price at 9-2 at the moment. Funny enough, is drifting. And 5 Tuscan Winters 9-2, 10-1 and better about the others in this race. Let me start with you, Darren. I mean, there's only, you look at the Graham Beck form line. Only one horse has run, and that's a horse called Total Protection that came from there and run and has won. And that was a very, very strong field, as we all know.
That was a very strong race. We're going to see Shoemaker run from that form line and a couple of others on the weekend. Mercantor, the horse to beat for me. Didn't see out of 1,400. He's a better sprinter. I think he'll run a massive race. And then dangers will come from a horse like Flower Bomb with only 54.5 kilos. Shivana's not out of it. And a couple of others. But I really believe Mercantor will finish in the first 3.
Yeah, Darren. Daryl, were you with us? I know we liked Flower Bomb last time. Didn't disgrace itself.
Yeah, when she finally got a run on the outside running rail, Clyde, she took off. Let's hope she can settle now that she's gained 1,200, because she certainly does have a decent turn of foot.
First time 1,200, eh? Or not?
Has she been 1,100 before?
She's been 1,100 before, yeah, but not 12.
Yeah, and she's around the bend.
She only got beat a half an inch time of Orchids. Time for Orchids over the 1,100 anyway. So
yeah, she's a very nice filly. I mean, they've always rated her from day one, and
is she as good as Mercantor though? That's the question.
Well, at level weights, no. But she's in a handicap, so she's got a chance, Clive.
Yeah.
Chivana, no, he loves this track and trip. Well, it's a middle stake, sorry. So you have to look at the best weighted, and one of them happened to be Follow Me, Clyde, the stable companion to Mercantor.
Yeah.
Last time out, she was over racing with the blinkers up front. She's much better given a chance, and now they've removed the blinkers. I'm sure they're going to give her a chance. And on her day, she's very decent. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her run a big race. And she's what, currently at 16-1?
Follow Me, I haven't looked. I'll tell you now. Yeah, 16-1.
I think she's overpriced. I do believe Mercantor's going to appreciate the coming back in trip. Flower Bombs, an improving filly. Chivana, course and distance suited. I think those 4 will certainly dominate.
Horse like Sound of Summer going to need one more, I think, eh?
Yeah,
this needs further.
You can't fancy him when he's later starts.
All right, so Chivana's top of the board at 7-2 with Flower Bomb, and Morcantor's at 9-2. There is a horse in here called Follow Me that Daryl perhaps likes as a each way called, Follow Me at 16-1. But Darren Burrows and myself are big on Mercantor. Here's what we're going to do in this particular race, race 5. Daryl Marie's worked out 2, 3, 8 and 10. He's bankering the 6 in the next leg of his jackpot. That's Southern Skies. An impressive debut win by 6, 8, 9 in the third leg and 2 and 7 at the back. Our next race now. There's a very good race and quality horses running in here. And some decent sorts. It's a plated race. It's a graduation class field where best weighted is Dice ahead of Southern Skies, Antigua Night, Thunderstone, and Set to Go. Market-wise, let's see what that helps us with. Southern Skies 13-10. I don't know if that's too skinny or not. Dice is 7-2, and Set to Go is 11-2. Now we were quite impressed, Darren and Daryl, with the way Southern Skies won first time out. But would you be confident enough to be taking that price?
Well, Clyde, I did cover in the pick 6. I went 1, 2, 4, and 6. But she is my outright first choice. I was super impressed with the way she won. I know she beat her first time at Virgin River by 7 lengths, and we don't know how good she is. So it's difficult to assess if she's at her current rating. She looked very impressive, and she could go on from here. The danger could be Mauritian. I thought this horse won really well on debut, and he won by 2.5 lengths, beating Sylvan Theatre, who came out to win. He could be anything. And then Dice might need one more run back and set to go.
Yeah, let's talk about Southern Skies, Daryl. So Darren's right, very impressive. Very impressive.
What did you say in your commentary that day, Clark?
I can't remember. What did
Blue
I say?
Skies.
Oh, Blue Skies. Oh, Chasing Shadows, yeah. Because it was funny, it was raining. And then the sun came out and I saw the shadow and I said, they're chasing shadows. But anyway, she won. Someone said to me about times that the fillies were faster than the colts.
Yes, that's what I want to touch
the colts,
on
can
now.
you remember?
No, that form line.
Was that also the colt?
Kian the Conqueror.
Kian the Conqueror, that's right.
Now, that form line is really held up. I mean, we saw Munchkin win from there, a few others. Lover's Lane, I can't quite remember the other one. Anyway, Clyde, according to time, she would have beaten Kian the Conqueror by 6 lengths, Munchkin by 6.5 lengths.
Okay.
And I don't believe she came out of second gear.
All right, so that's the end of the story, right?
Yeah, I think she'll start in the red.
Now that you put it that way.
You know, Clyde, prior to the race, in the pre-race comments, they were very, very bullish. They made it clear to the public that she's fancied to kill. The market spoke, confirmed that. I think from a one draw, getting 6 kilograms from Dice, who didn't really impress me in his comeback start. I think all she has to do is jump and get in a perfect position, and she'll notch up another victory.
Well, I hope Dice hasn't lost his form. He was a talented, very talented horse.
Yes.
And I don't know if we can write him off that quickly, but let's see. It does appear that Southern Skies is well above average. This is what the plan is then. In terms of this race, the boys are all in to Southern Skies, and I would imagine that they're not going to be shy to be taking the 13 to 10. Yeah, they've got Corvette captain top of the boards at 28 to 10 for Jan Janssen van Vieren and Keegan de Mello. They team up. You like it, Darren? First choice or not?
I do give him a big chance. You know, he is a 6-year-old. He won a good race last time out. He's got a handy galloping weight. Danger would be his stablemate, Faustinovo. He won a good race last time out. He could be the improver. And then Whirly. Now, he's getting on a bit, but his ratings come down to 83, and I think he could be competitive fresh after a rest with Pierre Stradum in the saddle.
Okay, so Whirly with striker up for you. Perhaps as a Shruti, Daryl? Anything out there that sticks out for you?
Twice the Storm was very disappointing in his latest start, Clark.
Yeah, also
he was actually heavily supported on that occasion.
What do you think happened there?
I don't know if he's going to line up. If he does, I respect him.
Okay.
I think he's better than that effort, and he goes well over this course and distance. Corvette captain, what you see is what you get. Track and trip is ideal for him. Darren touched on, he's getting on with it, and obviously Faustinova's improving with racing and possibly got plenty more scope for improvement. So he beats a first-timer who ran two first-timers. They ran second and third. They could be anything, Clyde. So Faustinova's my top pick, ahead of the likes of Twice the Storm if he runs, and the Corvette captain.
Yeah, I don't like the race. Anything from like Ayala Yakul?
Sure,
I mean, it's coming out of the Graham Beck, I know.
Yeah.
Strong field. I don't know what... Has it got any... Is he not...
How on earth do you fancy him in his latest
Can't.
No.
Well, he had 2 runs, this horse, from his rest. 2 runs. His first run, obviously, I can't explain too much about
you
it.
than me, eh?
I'm trying to find a reason why it might have a chance.
Listen, I don't know, Clyde. He's always had a reputation, this horse.
Yeah.
And it would be great to see him bounce back, but I'm wary when I see form as bad as that.
Laluvia first run for Maroon.
Yeah,
Is that right?
She's a mare. I don't know.
Not
for
today.
me. Not for me.
Mover and Shaker, any sort of chance? I know, I'm sorry to ask, but I'd just like to...
Clyde, I'd like to say anything that I don't have in my perms doesn't have a chance. So
Yeah, okay, they're all spooks. All right, let's put up what we're going to do here this race.
You know what? Guys, out of all of them, I have Yalla Yakul.
Probably.
He's probably the horse that could upset me.
Okay. Well, 2, 6, 8, 9 between the boys. I'm very worried about the race. Well, Darren Burrows did tell us earlier that he's bankering Admiralty Arch. Doesn't want to know about that. He says the horse is now well overdue and ready to win. Darren, and market-wise, what price is this horse for you now on Wednesday evening? I'll give you an idea. 14 to 10. You think it's going to drift, or what's your gut feel?
I can't see him drifting much, Clyde. In this type of company, he's so overdue, this horse. I can't believe he's still a one-time winner. Iron Tail beat him a short head on the post. Then Texas Ready came a stride too late. And last time out, after hours, managed to get first run on him. So I think Pierre Stradham's going to give him a perfect ride. He's ridden him before. He knows him better. And I think he'll win the last.
Okay. You, Daryl? 3?
Is this 1 to go, eh? 1 to go. 5,500.
Yeah. You think this is the day?
Yeah, he's going to have to fight it out with Back to Basics. I'm not looking past the two of them, Clyde. This was Back to Basics. This is he's at his best over this course and distance. He's got a great draw. He can just sit off the pace, and he's got a turn of foot, Clyde. So if he gets first run on Admiralty Arch, I think Striker might have his workout out to go and fetch him. But I do expect them to dominate the finish. So I'm not looking past the two of them.
Okay. The only reservation, we've said it before, is that the stable's a little quiet. Eh?
Yeah, but this is...
Admiralty, but it's a dead field. Inverted commas?
No.
Apart from Back to Basics.
Yes.
Apart from Back to Basics.
Apart from...
And that's why you've got to respect Back to Basics. Because if Byron Burtis was flying in form, I would say Darren's 100%
I'm sure
right.
Striker wants to make amends, because
of course he's been...
the last time he sat on this, he was desperately unlucky.
Okay. Okay, guys, is it Admiralty Arch or not? Well, Darren Burrows says it will be. Hard to beat.